are. Welcome to episode number 3 of NotShoes. Of course, NotShoes is our it's a shoe show for shoe hobbyists. We're not experts. We're just sitting here talking about the things that we love, and that happens to be sneakers. I say we because it's not just yours truly, the last professional broadcaster, the man who created this Notsam Network and this Notsam studio. It's also Reed. Reed's here.
It is. Hello. I'm glad to be here once again.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, if you go back, if you've been watching all the episodes, it's usually the crew, as it's known, is yours truly. It's Reed, and it's Hot Dog. Hot Dog has been disinvited from this week's show. He's not welcome here for this week, this month, whatever it is, this episode of NotShoes, because he keeps talking this big game. He keeps saying, "Oh man, you guys got me excited every time I watch a NotShoes show. Every time I'm here for one of them, I want to buy a pair of shoes. I want to get involved. You know what I'm gonna get? I'm gonna get the cool gray 4s. That's what's gonna be my first pair." And I said, "That's perfect, Hot Dog. They're gonna be easy to get. You can just go on release day. You'll be able to find them in stores. If you want to go on sneakers, you'll be able to get them on the app. Like they're making tons of them. People like them, but they're not so hyped over them. Perfect timing. Grab them." Hot Dog, since the last show, did not get one pair of shoes. He didn't get one. There was going to be a whole thing. You were going to go shopping with him.
It was going to
be a big deal. And he didn't get anything.
That's why I have trust issues.
Right. No, it should be. It should be. So he's not invited. He's banned from this episode. He'll be back next episode, maybe. If he has something to add. But like,
he needs to send us a photo of his sneakers before he does.
Absolutely. If you've got nothing to add, what are you doing here?
No.
Right?
Also, I feel like, what else, if I can't trust him to do that, what else can I trust him with, right?
Nothing.
I was feeling good. Like, we inspired you.
Exactly. No. Now, Reed, of course, we usually start the show with pickups in the last month or so. This episode is a little early. I don't think we're at September quite yet. We're a little early because we have a special guest on the show, and we'll get to him in a moment. I see you. And well, people are going to be like, why is he looking off camera? And it's like,
I get you. He's sitting right there. Yeah, no.
So we're a little early for this month's episode, but who knows? Maybe we'll be early next time too. However, there's enough going on that there's plenty of time to fill, and there's plenty to talk about. I know it's not for lack of trying. Were you able to pick up anything, or are we still in about the same place with our finances?
You know what I was doing? I was just I wanted all of them, and in my indecision, I wasn't able to get anything.
Right,
so.
In your indecision or brokenness.
No, I mean, part of the decision making was realizing I didn't have the money for it. But that came at the end of the process.
Right. Yeah. For you, it's like, when it comes down to what sneakers you want, there's a lot of there's color and there's style and there's hype and design, and when it comes down to what you actually buy, generally cost.
No, yeah,
that's a big issue.
It's all about the dream.
Yeah,
it's all about the dream.
Well, in your head, what did you pick up in the last month or so?
Chocolate 750.
You did.
And you love them. And I love them. But the problem is I won't wear them. I kind of
because they're imaginary.
Yeah, but also I like them kind of on my mantle so I can look at them when I go to bed.
Right,
like almost like an art piece.
No, that makes sense. Well, you know what the solution for that is? It's the old double up.
Double up?
Yeah, I
saw that hashtag a couple times on Instagram and stuff like that. People like
people are excited about double up because it's a way of life, and it's my way of life. So I had a fruitful month, I would say.
Oh Lord!
But only 3 new pair, and that's only 3 new pair, and that's not like a crazy month.
But that's one a week. Like we're doing the show early,
more or less, and one was a double up. So I guess you could say 4.
We just flexing now.
But it wasn't a triple. I didn't triple on this one. Oh my God. And when we're talking about the double up, I did. I mean, these are a must-have. If you're going to have anything, these are the Jordan 4
These
cool
are the
grays.
ones Hot Dog should have gotten.
He should have gotten. Not at all difficult to get. I'm sure. I still think that they're not difficult to get. You can still get them.
I got them. Right now.
Yeah, exactly. These came out originally, I think, in 2001. One-ish, early 2000s is when they were first released. So generally speaking, I hate any 4 that has the Jumpman on the back.
Why?
Nike Air. Put Nike Air. The original Jordan 4 had a Nike Air on the back. I hate the Jumpman. Same with the 3s. I don't like the Jumpman on the back.
They're trying to separate themselves from Nike by doing that, right?
I guess, especially at the time that they did it, because the reason that they did it on these was because that's what it looked like
Yeah.
in 2001. The same way with the 3s, when they put out the Katrina 3s and there was a Jumpman on the back, generally I just won't buy 3s that have a Jumpman on the back because the 3s really were synonymous with Nike Air.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there were a bunch of different things. Like on the back of the 4s, you could have anything. The Travis Scotts had the Travis Scott logo. There's different things you could do, and it's not that big of a deal. But for the 3s, it's got to say Nike Air.
Oh, for sure.
But the Katrina 3s, those shoes when they originally came out, they weren't released in any sort of retail at all. They were part of an auction.
And they had to be super limited, right?
Right,
Yeah.
and the original Katrina, they were for Katrina relief.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're called for Hurricane Katrina relief. And they had a Jumpman on the back of them when they first introduced them. So for those, I was like, yes, those when you're re-releasing, you want to be as close to the original as possible.
Yeah.
And you put the That's why I was okay with those having the Jumpman on the back, and that's why I'm okay with these. These are not like a retro re-release like the Bread 4s.
No, yeah.
The Bread 4s were a retro re-release. These are a re-release from the 2000s. So it's like that. Why try to make them older than they actually are?
Which is weird. I think something as sneakerheads get older and stuff, we're gonna have to start to realize that our prime or our like nostalgia is gonna be really old to the next generation. So you say the early 2000s, maybe
Right.
marketing has decided kids born in the 2000s are about 19, 18 right now, early 2000s.
Well, the early 2000s are not. They're old to you. You were a little kid in the
Yeah,
early 2000s.
I was 96. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe they're trying to the fact is they're not the Nike Air makes you nostalgic, but because they did this back in the 2000s,
Maybe I see.
this is now nostalgic for them. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, like I wore these in high school.
Yeah.
Like
And-
like the like older people love the Jordan 1s because they go, I wore these when I was a kid, and now I'm 40 years old. And I can buy the shoes that I couldn't get when I was a kid. The 3
Yeah.
is the same thing. Now you're looking at shoes. I mean, I think that's the appeal of the 11s. I remember when I was in school, the 11s were like the coolest shoe ever, but I wasn't cool, so I didn't get them. But now,
You didn't get your pass? You need like a
No.
Jordan pass?
no,
around school?
we already had this conversation. I was wearing Airwalks, but Airwalks and Chuck Taylors. That was it. But now I can get a pair of Concords. I had a pair of Space Jams, but somebody ended up with them. That guy over there.
Who's still off camera.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. That is a big part of it, is the nostalgia of it. But I love these. I mean, these are so versatile. Obviously, there's mud on the bottom. They've already been worn, and that's okay because we double upped.
Of course, double
Yeah,
up.
you gotta-
I think 4s are great city shoes too, especially in any kind of city urban area because they're really tough and they're kind of bulky. Like I have a pair of, I think it's just the regular blue and white 4s, and I wear them as like a beater pair. Like,
Yeah.
when I'm going, I don't mind getting them dirty.
And I double up on a pair like these, even though you're sitting there going like, well, they're not worth anything. They made so many of them. And that's true, but I do think, years down the road, like a couple of years from now, a pair of shoes like this, people will be like, oh, you know what? I didn't get those gray 4s, those
Yeah.
cool gray 4s when they came out because everybody had them, but they're just such a cool pair of shoes that I'm going to be like, okay, cool. Well, I have one dead stock and you made fun of me back then.
The only thing I don't like about them is this white in the midsole. I feel like that makes them look a little bit cheaper. Like if it had been an all gray kind of different, even gray palette.
You're a monotone guy.
Yeah, I guess
monochromatic
so.
person.
Yeah, but I mean, don't you know the white would get dirty real quick and all that kind of? I don't know. But again,
Bro, just don't walk in puddles. You're an adult.
No,
Okay?
okay.
Like, what are you doing?
I'm just
You trying to play in the mud?
sharing my 2 cents.
I guess so. So, we got the Jordan 4s, the cool grays, and I'm happy about it. I've worn them a few times already. There was also a big day.
A really big day, a historic day.
I'd say historic in the world of sneakers. I would say the day was historic. It was Yeezy Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeezy Day went down a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Totally unannounced. I think I found out the night before, or maybe when I first woke up that morning. One of my buddies sent me a message on Instagram, and he was like, "Do you see all these shoes are releasing?" And so there was a chart. We'll put the chart up so you can see it. There was a chart that went out. It went from, I think the sale went from like 6 a.m. until 10 p.m. or something like that.
It was
over
a literal
12 hours.
Yeezy
It was
day.
all day. They put out most of, to some degree, they put out most of the 350s. They put out like the zebras. They put out the the yellow,
all V2s,
frozen
though,
yellows,
all
all the
V2s.
V2s.
Yeah,
Yeah. Nah, they didn't go too far back.
No turtle doves would be given out. Were being given out.
No, and people were kind of waiting for them too.
Yeah, no.
They didn't put out wave runners.
They didn't because they released
they were
them so
do
close
it,
to
but
it.
they
yeah.
put out the other versions of those shoes.
I was so excited just to see some shoes available. Like we talked a little bit about this before, but 750, the chocolate 750s, the fact that just to see those up for sale was so weird.
It was.
The 750s, I think, arguably are the most limited Adidas Yeezy right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could go Turtle Dove, like V1s or whatever, maybe, but I think for the most part, those 750s being available. And my whole theory
available, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well,
available. Because for whatever reason, they decided to kind of let people know this was going to happen the night before. So everybody got their bots ready.
Because they're not as confident either. I don't think you know what I mean. They're not so confident that they sell out.
Really, you think so?
I think so. I think they've lost a little bit of their super cockiness. So they just like, how bad would it look if like some V2s just
sat,
sit? Or like some of like, because they released some other less popular pairs that could have sat that did sit when they first released.
From what V2 sat when they first released? Just the Trump era.
The Inertia's not there no V2.
Yeah, the Inertia sat. I know the Moab sat.
But those
are
are
700s. I guess. Okay.
Yeah. Those are all 700s.
I guess I'm thinking more widely available ones like
Right.
Butter. I think Butters.
Butters didn't sit.
No, they didn't sit. But I think there are more common V2s. The point is, I think they're pretty much just clearing out their entire inventory.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean,
because there was no like process to their releasing. It was just random different types of shoes. You know what I mean? There wasn't a theme to it. Like
no, there was no theme.
Like,
it wasn't like this is the afternoon is going to be for the 700.
No,
it was so. They had a schedule, obviously, and I mean, there was a schedule.
I kind of just picture it like Kanye sitting in a warehouse and then just seeing a room full of shoes and him pointing to them.
But this is you. Like,
you
don't understand. When we were driving in the car on the way to the studio today, Reed goes, I was really disappointed when I found out that Kanye had a design team.
I didn't say I found out today.
I thought it was. I know you didn't find out today, but I'm just saying
that
you found when I was young. When I was
younger.
Like, how long ago could it possibly have been?
It may have been.
How long have Yeezys been around?
It may have been 2 years. 13. Who knows? But, yeah.
So I was really sad when I found out Kanye had a design team. Kanye is not scheduling Yeezy Day.
No,
it's Adidas.
No, he definitely is.
Like, Kanye's sitting there like, Kim, I don't have time right now.
If you had a day named after yourself, wouldn't you want to be involved?
No, I think it'd be awesome. Way more awesome. First of all, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do Not Sam Day and just have shows drop at random times, which is different shows all day. But no, I think it'd be even better if Not Sam Day happened and I slept through it. Like, do you know how cool that would be?
Not Sam, not Day.
Like, it's Not Sam Day, right? It's all about me. Everybody's just obsessing over the stuff that I create, and I wasn't even around for it. Like, that's what a big deal I am. And that's what Kanye was doing.
All right, fine.
He was working on Sunday service or something like that. He was not sitting there going like,
Yandi.
Okay, exactly. I think that's coming out, right?
Definitely, for sure. I heard within the next 2 years.
Yeah, Kanye's not sitting there like figuring out when to release what. He doesn't even know what's coming out. Adidas is just like, so Kanye, we were thinking about, like, we have all these shoes in the warehouse. And he goes, put them all out on the same day. And they're like, oh, all right, Kanye, we'll do it. And they have to then figure out, because what they did was, throughout the entire day, depending on how many I think were available, they would put sneakers up up for sale for between 45 minutes and 90 minutes at a time. It was different for each shoe, but they would also go back and forth. It'd be on Adidas's website.
Yeah, that was really
and then
weird.
They would launch other shoes on Yeezy stock, and then they would go back to Adidas.
Yeah,
and then they would go back to Yeezy. And they would go back and forth all day. And so I turned my alerts on. I was following Yeezy Mafia on Twitter.
Everyone should.
And I turned my alerts on because that's how I knew when new stuff was coming and whatnot. But by noon, it was like, why even bother? Just keep. If you need to stay all day on these websites. Like, Yeezy stock isn't getting new shoes before the Adidas time clock runs out. So if Adidas says this is going to be on this website for an hour, try there, and then in an hour, just check all the websites and see what's there now, because it's just going to be all day.
But the thing is, I think a lot of people looked at it as each shoe's release was like their original general release. And again, this is just my theory, but I think they were just clearing out stock for the version 3 coming. They probably didn't have that many pairs of certain shoes that would sell out super quick.
I don't know if it's accurate. I saw a printout of the numbers of each that were being released. And some of it, you're right. Some of it was like insane, but then I think like the blue tints was barely any.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
But so many were released.
you're
when they
right.
Originally released. I mean, I could definitely be wrong, but it sounds reasonable. Like, wouldn't if you
Just clearing out the warehouse.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
But Kanye's not there directly.
Yeezy, Kanye. If Adidas and Yeezy brand wanted to, they could buy another warehouse. It's not that big of a deal. Like, I don't think it was quite like I don't think it was like when a store is like doing a clearance sale. But I do think that part of this is it's not just to clear out their warehouse. It's what's the best way to build hype. And the best way to build hype, what's the best way to get everybody talking? What if one day we just released every Yeezy?
Yeah.
Would that get everybody talking? And the answer is, of course it would, because you went on and it was impossible. Like, I knew people that were sitting there all day trying for every single release, because it got to the point where stuff that people didn't even want, they were trying to buy because it's Yeezy Day.
But they also wanted the rush.
Right, you want to participate, it's Yeezy Day. You got to get something. So it was tough. I know a lot of people that got nothing all day, and they tried all day with every release. And I'm going to tell you, I was successful once.
Of course you were.
And I did. We literally we had company at the house. We had Nicole for the morning mashup on Sirius XM, and her husband came over, and they brought their kids, and it was like a whole family play date.
So Jess wasn't like helping you out or anything like that?
No, you can't count on her for anything.
Oh.
But it was a whole family play date, and I had my iPad and my laptop plugged in on different desks. And so the whole time I was like checking over here and checking over there because I was in queue on different webs, and they were like, "Oh, what are you working on over there, Sam?" And I was like, always working."
Oh yeah.
More work.
Really vague, so you don't lie.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm grinding.
But
grinding it out.
Guess what? We have this show now, so I was working.
No, of course.
You know,
we've already established why this show exists.
Content.
Yeah,
you know,
content.
But I did get one pair, and I got it early. It's in the morning, and it was like literally one of those things where I was like, "Oh, I didn't get these." It was a pair that I did not have.
So this wasn't a double up.
Nope. It was a pair, which is even more exciting.
And I don't know the shoe. Like, you haven't told me that. Oh, maybe you did and I forgot.
Great. It was a pair that I did not have that I wanted. I actually wanted the pair. I'm happy to have it. It's not like super, super crazy, but it's not bad either. And it was earlier in the morning, so like I was like, "Oh, that's weird. These are coming out." So I had my iPad in my room, so I just put it on. I said, "This is the pair I wanted." I'm in line, on the Adidas site.
Yeah.
And I went and took a shower, and when I got out of the shower, the checkout window was up. And I was like, "Oh!" I just like put a towel on. I'm like dripping wet. I'm like, "Check out. Here's my size," and I got them. Do you want to guess?
Zebras?
Nope.
No.
But I tell you, I got a good deal on the zebras because I think I got my first pair of zebras retail somehow. I don't remember how I got the first pair, to tell you the truth. But my double up, because I got the two pairs, of course. Got to double up on the zebras. They're classics.
Yeah.
I got for $250 because it was over the holidays. Yeah.
What?
It was over the holiday. And I'll tell you why. Number one, it was Trump era Kanye, which is my favorite Kanye, because whatever anybody says, Yeezys were way cheaper when Kanye was wearing a MAGA hat. And that was I started half of my Yeezy collection I got during the MAGA era.
Really?
Because people were like, "Man, I don't know about Kanye." And I'm like, "Yeah, right. Okay, sure. Like, wait till he takes off the hat. We'll see if you still don't know about him." But yeah, they put that like music, and I'm like, okay, now it's starting to pick up again.
Oh, of course.
I don't know about this guy. Okay. But so while the MAGA era was going on, I was like, "Yep, this is the time. This is the time."
Which will be referred to as the golden era. The golden era.
Oh, for me it was, for sure. Because Flight Club was doing this thing at the holidays where they would just pick a shoe every day, and they go, "Hey, this is super cheap for the next hour."
I got you.
And they did it with the zebras one day, and I went on, and I just got them. And they sent it to me, and it was great. And Flight Club, their shoes are always legit. So
I'm trying to think of what pair of Yeezys don't you have?
I'm missing a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I don't know. I can just guess all day.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
maybe the frozen yellows. No, you already had a pair of those. Yeah.
A pair.
You double up.
Yeah. Two pair. Double up.
Double up.
Double up.
All right.
Here they are. 350s.
Oh. The butters, as I said.
The butters. That's why I looked at you and I was like, those weren't that easy to get.
Well, easy's all relative, right? These are great shoes.
By the way, this is the first time they're out of the box.
You look, wow. Yeah, you haven't worn them at all. They have the
No,
tags.
no. Yeah, these are dead stock. I'm not sure if I'm gonna wear them or not. Luckily, the thing about Yeezys is they make so many in almost the exact same color that you cannot wear every pair because I have pairs that look almost exactly like those.
The thing about these butters that always stood out to me is they're this weird combination of both feeling loud and muted.
Yeah, well, you know what?
And I can't come to grips about what that feels because I feel right now they're kind of standout-ish, but when you look at them, they're not.
I like the butters because it was one of the earlier pairs. He wasn't doing that many solid pairs. There was either like the supply stripe on it, or there was something. There was the zebra, the frozen yellow.
Yeah,
like there weren't that many. There was the
there's no
creams.
There's no supply on the inside or anything.
He did like the creams and the sesames, which I have those, and then the butters. And I never got the butters, and so that's what I got in my size 11.
And we got to take care of them because you didn't double up.
I did not double up.
No.
So
that's why I've placed them over there so I don't breathe on them too hard.
Right. If anybody wants to throw in, some size 11 butters, hit me up because then we don't have to be so stressed out. But for the time being, these are going back in the box.
For sure.
These are going back in the box for the time being.
And
I know what you're saying. You're going like they're butters. Like they don't need to be. They're not like this, super valuable all-time pair, but we like to keep our stuff.
Oh, of course.
It's
valuable to us. What is value?
Exactly. And I'm super happy to have these butters.
Well, I also, a side note, I also think for as much crap as Yeezy's getting right now for being so available, I think there will be a point in time, 20 years from now or whatever, that every single one of those Yeezys is going to be super valuable.
All of them?
For the majority, yeah.
Even the ones that are coming out now? I don't think this era will be the ones that all look exactly the same. I think
they all will be. For sure, because they're not going to remake them. So 20 years from now, I'm not thinking about like 5, 20, when I'm 40.
Well, they might remake them within 20 years. Jordan Brand has kind of made a profession of that.
I don't see Yeezy doing that. Because I don't see one era of Yeezy shoe being so popular that they would just go back and retro.
You don't think the zebras are like the zebras? I mean, they didn't do it for the turtle doves, which is kind of amazing. But
yeah, that's where I'm building off of. Is like they could have done that with the earlier Adidas, and they have.
I mean, there's still time.
I could be wrong.
There's still time. But in the near future,
they
probably won't be a ton of re-releases.
I think
a ton more. There have already been a ton of re-releases.
I just think those butters 10 years from now will be harder to get than now. So good
we'll
investment.
see. Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be like you'll look back on it. The Wave Runners are iconic. The zebras are iconic.
Zebras are probably the most iconic V2.
Yeah, that's probably right. The turtle doves are iconic.
Yeah, 750s because they were the first.
Yeah. And I got one more pair while we're talking about our pickups.
Is it a drum roll worthy or is it?
I think so. I was very, very excited about it. And more, especially because the story. Like, that's part of it, right? That's part of why we do all this stuff is like the story behind
it's like
the hunt.
70%. Because then what happens is someone comes up to you, oh, yo, I like your shoes, man. Oh, thanks. And then you have the story about how you got them, and that's how you have the conversation.
That's why I think bots are so lame. Bots are the worst. Because like when somebody goes like, oh, yeah, I got this pair. I'm like, oh, how'd you get it? He's like, oh, I had like 19 bots. I'm like, we're done talking.
No.
That's a stupid story.
You're the reason I pull my hair out in the morning when the app crashes.
Right. It's not fun. Like, it's not fun to use a bot or exist within the bot. That's why I don't do the bots. I don't do the bootlegs. The fakes.
It's like playing a video game and putting it like on rookie mode. I'm really into NBA 2K.
Right. Like, I'm the best. I beat every team. But it's like, yeah, but it's like playing two-player, except there's nobody with you.
Or when you play with your really younger brother and you have to play with them with the unplugged controller.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Yeah. It's just like, oh, you think you have a chance.
Yeah, like when I was a kid, I would play Candyland, except like with my parents, my family, or whatever. Except I would like shuffle the cards, quote unquote, and I would do every other card being one of those pictures that you could skip like 9 spaces. And so every time I pulled up a card, it would be a picture. And the person playing with me as a little kid would know. It's like, you're clearly cheating. Like
Why?
This is stupid. Why are we even doing this?
You forced kids to become more adult-like.
They just look at me like,
become self-reflective. Like,
why are we even playing this? This is dumb to do it this way. It doesn't.
It's already Candyland. It already is a dumb thing to do usually.
Right. Like realistically, when we look at these sneakers and we look at what we like and this whole culture around it, it's because most of it is the hunt and the fun and the collecting and the limited and this and that. So to use bots or to get bootlegs or to scam people or to do any of that stuff, it's like what are we even doing this for? So the story to me is super important. Now we talked last show about the fact that Yeezy was putting out Wave Runners again. last re-release. They say
Yep.
it's the fourth one, but they say it's the last one.
Fourth and final.
Fourth and final. And this one was going to be an entire family pack.
Women, children.
But they didn't have a concrete date when. I was like, okay. But I told you, I was like, I need to get another pair. Because I got my one pair of Wave Runners. Love them.
You do wear them a lot.
I think
will
they're
attest to that.
they're an iconic classic shoe now. I didn't at first. I didn't get them when they first came out. Luckily,
No one did.
there were many re-releases. So I think I got them. I got them the third re-release. And I got them in my size, which was stupid because it's Yeezy, and why would they make anything the proper size?
Oh, yeah, you do have a weird problem with their size. I never had a problem.
Well, they do things in the wrong size.
Yeah,
so
I guess so.
I'm an 11 in Yeezys. Sometimes an 11 and a half in the 350s. Who knows why? But I'm trying to stick to 11s in the 350s. That tends to work. And in the Wave Runners, I had to contact a shoe plug to go, look, I have a 10 and a half. I need an 11. Can you help me out? And he did help me out, even though I didn't have a receipt. He helped me out. He was good to me.
I'm so glad you finally get a win.
Finally, right?
Yeah,
Finally.
It's nice to hear.
Well, I almost didn't. Almost didn't get a win this time for the double up. Double up's important.
You know, the double up is why we play the game.
It's my way of life. It doesn't even count to me. If it's not even a victory if it's not a double up. Like you see those what's it called? Not the black toes, the Nigels. I love the Nigels. You can see how much I wear them because you see. Look at this loose thread already here.
Oh yeah,
It's driving me crazy.
I
by the way.
remember when I first talked to you about them, you had them on, and you're like, "Yeah, these are one of my favorite ones."
Love them. You can feel how soft they are right there.
No,
but
I
you
know
know
for
why? Sure. I'm not even 100% sure if I consider them part of my collection. I only got one pair.
You didn't double up.
I haven't. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I will. We'll get there.
Did you double up on the Travis Scotts? I forgot.
Yeah.
You did, right?
Yeah.
That's why you didn't double up on the Nigels then.
Yeah. No, but I told you the story about the Travis Scott double up. That was
yeah. It's an epic
that was
one.
some luck and a trade
and a boy with some courage.
and a boy with some courage. Yeah. And I mean, at some point I'll talk to you about the doubling up on the off-white UNCs.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard that story either. But the
But-
Wave Runner story.
The Wave Runner story. So, they not long after Yeezy Day, Adidas goes, okay, we're re-releasing them right now. And I was like, what? Again, my buddy on Instagram, he was just like, I'm assuming the Wave Runners are out right now. And I was like, well, you
Yeah, of
assumed
course.
wrong because they decided not to hype it up or make an announcement. They just dropped them. And of course, and I was out and I can't, Sneakers app is far from perfect. It crashes. It's so annoying. However, I think the only reason I got the Travis Scotts was because, and I got them on the Sneakers app retail, but that's because it took 30 minutes of sitting on that app because it kept crashing. And then finally one time it worked and I actually went through and I got them. So sometimes the crashes are your friends. And I think sometimes they crash it on purpose to try to get the bots out.
Really?
I think so.
Almost like a purge.
Yeah, I think so.
That's smart. I never thought about that.
It's just my theory. But the thing about the Adidas website is you have to leave your computer open because you have to wait in line. And when you're on your phone, what are you going to do? Just keep your phone from going to sleep? Then you can't use your phone for other stuff. If you're out of the house and not at a computer or an iPad that's plugged in or something, it's really difficult to do these Adidas releases. So I didn't get them with the website release. Plus, they were impossible to get anyway.
Yeah, I don't think they released that many pairs.
No, I don't think so either. But then they were in a week from Saturday, some stores are going to get them. We're not putting them online anymore, but some stores are going to get them.
Just
right?
some.
Some.
A few.
A few stores will get them. And I'm like, okay, thanks. No Foot Lockers, no nothing like that. Because I was checking on my apps to see if they were going to do, on the whatever, where you can try to put in for the reserve and maybe you win, maybe you don't. But no Foot Lockers, no Foot Actions or
They want
anything.
you to support local businesses.
Adidas retailers, right? And so I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't going to happen. I'm going to have to buy retail. I have to hit up Angelo the plug, figure something out.
Who's still there?
He's sitting right there.
Right there.
So we'll get there. So I was like, okay, maybe not. I could try to win a raffle at Kith or something. I could go into the city, but I'm a Bestchester boy. B-O-I. You know what I mean?
Tatted and ready.
Yeah. I'm a Bestchester boy. I try to stick to Bestchester. So I'm driving around, and this is the day before the Wave Runners come out, and I have no plans in my head of how I'm going to make this happen the next day. I'm like, you know what? It might just not happen this time. Maybe not. I have my one pair. Might just not happen.
That's an L though.
It is an L. You know why?
You didn't double up.
That's right. No double up. So you got to double up.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous if you don't. So I'm driving to Target or whatever, and I pass by this shoe store that used to be another shoe store. And I haven't gone into it since it became the new shoe store because it's like you just took the old shoe store and made it yours. I don't feel like that's fair. But
you cheated.
Right. But they had a poster in the window. They were like, Yeezy Wave Runners. I was like, you have a poster for the Wave Runners in the window? Like, are they just there? They don't come out till tomorrow. So I went into the store.
To expose them for the scam? Or just you were...
I just wanted to see what was going on here.
Like, show it to me. Is that when actually came in and asked you?
Like, what is this? Yeah. Because I was like, oh, maybe this is like are they selling fakes here? Like, and if they are, it's good to know. Maybe I'll start buying fakes. So I went in.
That's the most disrespectful thing to walk into a sneaker store and be like, so you selling fakes?
That's not. I didn't actually ask. I was going to use my spidey senses to figure that out. 'Cause you're right. To go like, hey, where are the fakes? You know?
Even then, they hand you a pair of shoes. You start looking at them really close. They're going to be like, what?
But I mean, I have been to like, there are stores at the mall, like at the Palisades Mall. There's like a store. I won't say which one. But like you walk by. And they just have a shoe in the window that's been sold out for months. And, like, the logo is not quite right. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? Why would you... So you're the store that has the shoe that's been sold out for months. You have plenty in stock. And you just sell them for retail. That's you. That's what you got. Okay, fine.
I used to live in Fordham Road for a couple years. And if anyone knows Fordham Road, you walk up every store that sells you jewelry and Wave Runners.
Right.
And then the glass cases you walk out. But if you don't want the Wave Runners, they have the Travis Scott ones.
Right, whatever you need.
They have, yeah,
You're like,
everything.
The swoosh isn't even upside down on these. What?
You got them for the Lolo?
Yeah. So I go in and I realize that this place is like all Adidas. That they're just an Adidas, authorized Adidas reseller.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. And I went to the cashier. I'm like, are you guys getting the Wave Runners tomorrow? And he goes, we're doing a raffle for them. And I'm like, oh. And that's when I realized, I'm like, okay, this is for real. Like, this is an Adidas reseller that was right under my nose. I'm like, this is great. And so I go in, and I go, okay, I guess I'll enter this raffle.
Do you get one ticket?
One ticket, yeah. I mean, I play fair. It was one ticket per person. I enter once, you know, put my little size down and everything. And then I kind of forgot that I even did it.
Went on with your day.
Went on with my day. And also, like, how often, it was just cool because a lot of the, like, chain stores, they close the raffles on, like, Wednesday. Like, days before the release. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that must be because they have so many people.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. That they have to go through the
this
process.
Sneaker store's like, hey.
Yeah, so I got a call, like, you know, several hours later that evening. And it's just from a random phone number. And I decided to pick it up. I had forgotten about the raffle. I was like, hello? I'm like, hey, is this Sam? I'm like, who got my number? Like, who's this? Maybe, who's this? And he's like, raffle? I was like, who is this? And they were like, you won the Yeezy raffle. I was like, oh, thank you.
Well, then it is Sam.
Yeah, yes, as a matter of fact, it is Sam. I will see you in the morning. And I went the next morning, and I had my ticket in my pocket.
Oh, my God.
And I finally double upped. Doubled up? Double up? I say double upped. Because
Doubled up.
No, it's double upped. It's
Doubled up.
It's a thing that you do. You double up. It's one word. You double up. So when you actually do it, you just double upped. Yes. So here they are. I already have a pair, obviously.
The most beautiful shoe in existence.
But there's my double up. There it is.
You're a happy camper, I can assume.
I got my double up Wave Runner finally. Feels new.
I really would, if I was you, I would go back in and just be curious, ask how many people entered that raffle.
Yeah,
it would be an even funnier story.
Look
if
how clean that boost is.
3 people.
Yeah,
of course, yeah, everything from the.
Yeah, and I'm not. By the way, I'm not telling anybody what store it is because I'm trying to see if I can get some more. They got more of these 700s coming out that I'm actually looking at in September.
Yeah, we talked about the hospital blue ones.
Yeah,
are nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big It's gonna be a big Yeezy Fall. He's got like 11 shoes coming out.
Oh, and I think version 3s are starting to finally come too. We've seen mock-up again, Yeezy Mafia, the mock-ups of the V3s, which are almost like these weird alien versions.
Yeah.
They look kind of like almost Nike Reacts. I feel you know how Kanye got crap for in the beginning. People might even forget this. The Roshis, when he first came out with the V1s, people were like, oh, you're ripping off the Roshis. These V3s look really cool, but I think there are going to be people that are going to say, hey, the Nike Reacts, you ripped them off because they're kind of translucent. They look, the laces go on the side. But that and everything from like 500 boots, like we've seen samples of like Yeezy 500s, but they're like boot form. It's gonna be an interesting year, I think, coming up for Yeezys.
I don't think I get the boots because I don't really wear boots.
No, you're not gonna get the boots until you want them.
Yeah, I know, and I'm sitting here telling you I'm not sold on the V3s.
I've never believed you anytime you've ever told me you're not sold because you're gonna go from I don't really like them to be like, you know, I got one pair, but now I have to double up, and then all of a sudden you end up with 2 pairs.
So Yeezy in September. On the 4th, they're coming out with the 700 magnets. And I like them. I do like the magnets. I think I'm going to try to get the magnets, especially now that I know there's an Adidas reseller not too far from me.
Yeah, I don't mind. They look too much like the Wave Runner, just to me.
Yeah, well, the Wave Runner's a good looking shoe.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want its like second cousin then.
The Inertia's coming out on the 7th. I couldn't be less interested in that.
Too. Least favorite Yeezy colorway.
The 14th, they're putting out the Desert Boot in Salt, Rock, and Oil. Not for me.
I love Yeezy's boots.
Yeah. I
have a pair of the crepe boots, and I want to get a new pair, so I might get the darker color.
The 18th, the Power Phase Clean Brown. I don't do the Power Phases. I think I have one pair in like black or something. I just bought it when it came out. But
funny story about the Power Phase. Those are my first ever Yeezy. I have a pair of the white ones. So,
yeah.
So they're the cool ones out of all the Power Phase colors. The white ones are like the best ones. But those are the first pair of Yeezys I got
because they were gettable.
Well, because back that was before people forget. That was back before V2s were anything less than 700s. So
right.
Like, oh, I want to finally
have something.
Yeah. And then everything happened. I was like, oh. I wear you with suits sometimes.
You've got the 350s, of course, the Cloud and the Cloud Reflective, because there's nothing even close to white Yeezys.
No. We've been begging them to do it for a while, so I'm glad they finally listened.
And then the Citron and the Citron Reflective coming out on the 24th and the 26th of September.
What is Citron?
It's like a yellow.
Am I supposed to pretend like I know what Citron is in the Crayola box?
It's like a yellow beigey color that looks like every other 350 that's come out recently.
It sounds like it should be.
I'll probably grab 2 pairs.
Yeah, just to make sure you don't want them later.
Yeah, and then on September 28th, and I think these are going to be a very popular pair, the Hospital Blues come out, which I'm definitely going for. I really like them.
You told me you're a fan of. I'm on the fence. The orange laces kind of jump out to me a little bit too much, but
yeah. Well, I told you we were going to talk about the Jordan 1 Obsidian. Not the Obsidian. I told you last time we would talk about the High 85 coming back. The Chicago's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that might have to wait until the next show. It's not coming until February 2020 anyway, so we got time. And the Obsidian UNCs are coming on the 31st of August, so probably right around the same time this show drops. That's an essential pair to double up on.
Yeah, I don't like the Carolina blue color, so I never would really get to choose that color.
I'll wear
the navy
like
blue
crazy.
is nice.
Yeah, I'll wear them
I
like
figured
crazy.
You would.
Yeah, for sure. But I want to talk about those and a whole lot else with our special guest. So, Reed, if you wouldn't mind giving up the seat, you can head over to the hot dog position on the couch.
I will. I'm excited to do so.
Yeah, and well, it's an exciting place.
No, of course.
Again, hot dog has been banned for the part-time. I love how Reed tried to avoid the camera, but he's so big and bulky that he's still got in the shot. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the man that maybe you've seen on Instagram. You could see him on he's been on my Instagram. He's been on Bert Kreischer's Instagram. He's been on Chris D'Elia's Instagram. He's been on Roy Wood's Instagram. He's been on Elvis Duran's Instagram. He's been on Kendra Lust, the porn star's Instagram.
Adult film star.
Film star. No, you're right. We have to be respectful to Kendra. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the man himself. This is the shoe plug. We've talked about him before here on the show. This is Angelo Blando.
I want to say, first of all, I look up to you. You are a huge mentor in my life.
Oh, shucks.
And I look up to you, and I really appreciate you having me. This is the coolest thing. Like, I've done some really cool stuff. This is like definitely top 3 coolest things I've ever done.
Is it because I just built it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. No, it's just this. The studio is unreal.
Yeah,
I was just looking. I was trying to figure out like which wrestler is which.
Oh, yeah,
I
well,
got, like,
that's
I
what
got a
people-
good 50%.
I love
down,
that like
think.
half the stuff isn't even like there's no camera pointed at it. If you just look over in that direction, it's just raining wrestling toys down on you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And some of them are falling over.
Who cares? This is my life.
Yeah, this
is
is
my
hey,
life.
This is it. You know.
Well, welcome. Angelo is the. I can't even remember how we first met. I think the first shoe that you got me might have been the bread toe when it first came out.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think that and the gold toe came out around the same time, and I remember you got both those for me. So I feel like that was the first shoe that you got me, but we had been talking a lot before that.
Yeah, definitely. You know Bert Kreischer. Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You knew him, and I think I
I
sold.
still do know him.
I
He's not
sold-
dead.
I sold to him first,
Somehow.
and then I sold to you.
That might be right.
I don't remember. I know
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
DM'd
yeah.
you, and I was like,
It was early on,
oh no, did you DM me first?
maybe.
I think you DM'd me, and me and my brothers were watching WWE when it happened, and then they were like, "Holy fuck!" and I was like, "Holy fuck!" and then I was like, "Okay, well, let's do it." And then I messaged you, and I was like, "Hey, I could get you these or these." We started talking about whatever you wanted, the bread toes, and then yeah, you've gotten quite some pairs from me. We did the big trade that you talked
Yep.
about the first episode.
Well, you got me those for Christmas. My wife did that for you. You got me the Travis Barker's. I mean Nigel Barker's. Who's Travis Barker?
No, Nigel Sylvester.
Travis Barker's the dude who did the song
Travis-
I want to be a
Travis-
millionaire. I want to be a millionaire.
No,
that's
you
Trav-
No, Travis Barker is a drummer.
Oh, he's a
Travis
drummer.
Barker's
yeah.
from Blink 182. Travis.
Guys.
It's a different Travis though. It's definitely a Travis who does.
Travis.
The millionaire song. I'm not off on that.
No, you're not, because that's Gym Class Heroes.
Can
Travis.
someone in the comments to let me know? Let me know.
Travi. It's Travi. He dated Katy Perry for a while.
I'm lost.
I'm still a Travis Teff fan, so.
Not me.
The Nigel Sylvester one.
Nigel. Yeah, the Nigels. There's a Nigel Barker.
Travis Barker.
There's a
It's
Nigel.
the
Here's
same
what it is.
thing.
This is what happened. There's a Nigel Barker, I think,
Okay.
and I put the Barker in, and then added Travis and Travis Barker, and my dog was barking, and
Okay.
so the whole thing
Yeah,
got
no,
confused.
I know
But
they're gonna get it.
yeah, and I hate
get it.
as much as this is probably sacrilege, I'm one of the I'm sure very few people that wasn't the biggest BMX fan in the world and still decided I needed to have the Nigels.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody else that has them is just the biggest BMX
I
guy.
just don't. I didn't like this shoe.
Do you like them now, or you still don't like
No,
them?
I still really don't like this shoe. I think that it's cool that it's a BMX shoe and they put in the BMX skid marks and all that. But I want collabs from people that fucking like. Okay, I'm not gonna say that they matter. I want collabs from people like. I want to see like a John Cena collaboration. I want
He
to see
did a
like,
Kmart line of shoes.
yeah, I want to see Gary Vaynerchuk do a Jordan. Like
He did
it's-
K-Swiss.
Yeah, but
I wear
don't
my
like
K-Swiss.
that. I know. I actually have a few of the pairs.
Yeah,
have
but
the
I mean,
001s and 2s.
Nike going for athletes makes sense, right? I mean, Nigel is an athlete. Jordan was an athlete.
I'm not against it. I just
I mean, they're technically shoes to be worn during athletics. So the idea that you would have it's like when a
that's true.
skateboarder wears skate shoes. Like technically, that's what the function of the shoe
but
is.
they did. Well, skateboarders are still athletes. I was gonna say they did Eric Costin like Nike, the Nike SBs, but I don't know. You know what? You're right. Okay.
My
That's
only
personal
thinking,
stuff.
I know what you. My only thinking would be that maybe they'd be fearful. People were thinking they were pandering just by throwing names as opposed to like what Sam was saying
Yeah.
about them. You know what I mean? John Cena shoe.
But wait, okay.
Oh,
but
like
wait,
just
John
adding
Cena's
celebrities
Still
to
an
the
thing.
athlete though.
No, I know, but
But he's more of. Are you saying he's more of an entertainer? So it's less like
Well, yeah, I mean,
like
I think he would have to. He would just have to start wrestling in Nikes, which he could. I mean, he wrestles in sneakers, but there are a lot of wrestlers who wrestle in sneakers.
yeah, definitely. It's true.
I mean, now, Kofi, he wore. I think at SummerSlam he was wearing the Fear of Gods, for his title match.
the ones, the shoot arounds.
I think it was the orange ones.
The orange Fear
ones.
of Gods, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
Neon.
those are so uncomfortable though.
Well, he wears kick pads over them, so like
Okay.
everything kind of
But
stays
you're-
together. But
the heel of that Fear of God one, it's a really thick like plastic cage that they have around it. And when I wore them, like when you're they're high tops, so they go above your ankle. But when you're walking, they feel so stiff.
Dude, you're a sneaker plug. You sell sneakers, right?
Yeah.
How many people have you sold sneakers to that are like, could you just give me whatever's the most comfortable? None. Nobody.
You'd be
Somebody did-
surprised. So okay, one thing that I really and I am thankful for every single customer out there that is listening to this. This is not a bash against anybody. I understand that not everybody gives a shit about sneakers like we do. We like live, breathe sneakers. We understand it all. But I have a lot. I have sometimes just like when Kendra posted me on her page, I had like 100 DMs, and I'm not kidding. Like half the time when I get these rushes of people, it'll be like, God, there's some really interesting ones. It'll be like a $40 pair of shoes that's like literally $40 Vans that you could walk into and buy, and they'll be like, hey, can you get these? How much? And it's like, I mean, what do you want me to save you on? They're $40.
So do you have to
They just want to meet you.
Would you have to
Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean, do you have to stop yourself from being like, okay, this person clearly doesn't know what they're doing. I could just charge them $100 for these Vans, but then I'd be a scumbag.
I can't do that. I'm all about like keeping it real. A lot of the times when people like message me and ask those questions, there's another one that I get all the time. I've gotten Roshi runs. Somebody asked for Roshi runs, and someone asked for Prestos. These are all Nike shoes that are $100 that you could find in a outlet. You could find most likely in a. I mean, you could find Prestos and Nike and Roshi runs in a Foot Locker, but most of the time I'll just like, if I'm not super busy, sometimes I'll be like, I don't sell like stuff like that. I only do limited. But if I got a little bit extra time and there's not 75 people asking for Airwalks, I'll just look it up really quick on eBay, because all those shoes are always on eBay. I'll look it up on eBay, copy the link, and send them and be like, I'm not going to make money on this. Like, go buy them here. And then they're like, thank you. So it's a good way for them to know, like, I'm not like being mean and just saying like, I only sell shoes that are up to $3,000. But
well, the thing about sneaker culture, and really any sort of like hobbyist culture, is that the internet has made it so it's easier to become a part of it because all the information is out there. But there is so much information out there that some people, they either just see a shoe and they like it, but it's too intimidating to figure out like, how do I get this? Because if you don't know how, shoes are hard to get.
yeah, no, they are.
You know?
They are.
So you have to really know what you're doing. Or I'm sure you get people that come to you and they're just like, can you just make my feet cool? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to get.
A lot of people that ask for free pairs too. Some people just message me and say, hey, you give away shoes, I'll take a pair of Yeezy size 11.
Now, are we talking celebrities or are we talking just people?
No, just people. Like, I'll get part of the. Okay, here's how. Let me break it down for you guys.
Not the
okay?
best business model, by the way.
No, yeah. So here's the breakdown. When I meet a celebrity and they post me on their page, let's say Elvis Duran posts me, right? I got 200 DMs, okay? So 30 of them are people that understand the sneaker game and want a pair of Wave Runners or Travis Scotts or something. They understand it. They'll message me. 30 out of 200 will message me and say, I want the UNC ones in a size 11. 100 of the 200 message me saying, I would like Airwalks, I would like Vans, I would like, and then the other 70 will be, hey, what size, or not even that. I wish they would say that. They'll just be like, hey, I really like those Jordan 5s. Can I get a pair? So it's really, I mean, and that's why I think like I'm proud to be a sneaker reseller, and I'm proud to like know so much about it, because a lot of these people, they just like, I'm helping them become a stronger sneakerhead, because when I'm like, hey man, that's not how it works at all, then they're like, okay, and then I school them a little bit.
You could just give them for free.
Yeah, they just think I'm some fucking sneaker fairy that came down and I can give whoever. Just DM me whatever you want and I'll give you a free
just give
pair.
it to you. It's for you.
When do I get mine in that situation?
You
right?
just lose yours.
Yeah, they
you just don't get to have it at all.
Just the filthy rich kid that his dad just gave him his credit card.
I want to spend it all. I got to spend everything.
Who wants a pair?
So is it difficult?
God.
Is it difficult to do this? Because like, I mean, more and more sneaker reselling, I feel like there's more people buying to resell than they are even buying to keep. I mean, I know it just like when I go to the mall and get sneakers on release day that are, you know, not like that are not crazy tough to find in the sense that like you have to go the morning they come out.
Right.
But if you go the morning they come out, it's not going to be an issue. Like for instance, like the bread fours. Like, you know, as long as you go when they come out, you're going to be able to get a pair. It's not going to be an issue. 2 days from now, stores won't have them anymore, but you know, there's enough that everybody will get them. But like, I'll wake up on a Saturday, go to the mall, get a pair like that, and without fail, there's like these little gangs of 13-year-olds, which I kind of find charming. I mean, I'm sure you find them irritating because they're destroying the business, but I find them like charming because they're all taking it. They are acting like they're such big shots, and they're going like, "Yo, man, I don't know about this," or blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Look at you little scamps!" But they're going, and they're like literally trying to buy a pair of shoes that they can go and find their friend, you know, in their apartment complex and sell it to him at a $20 profit that day. And
I think it's the, like, this is probably not the answer you're expecting. I think that is the, like, most heartwarming thing.
You like it like I do? Okay.
Because when I see, like, I know that when I was in high school, even before, when I was like 8th grade or 7th grade, 8th grade, freshman year, there was a lot of kids that were, I mean, kids were smoking weed a lot. I was never really into that. Kids were selling weed when they were literally 14. Like, so when, like, my approach was, okay, I'm not gonna scam people. I'm not gonna sell weed. I don't want to like do anything bad. So my way of being different was, let me do it the clean route. I want to sell sneakers. I want to sell clothes and all of that. And doing it, like, since I've done it at such a young age, now when I see 13-year-olds, I am literally like, I don't wait in line anymore. But if I was to wait in line, or if I were to wait in line, and there was like a 13-year-old, I literally would let him go in front of me, and I'd be like, I appreciate what you're doing. Like, I would want to talk to him and let him know that, like,
I need 11 size 5s. And you're
yeah,
like,
I'd be
okay,
like,
I don't know.
I appreciate it. Here's $50. Grab me a pair.
Yeah.
But see, it's good because, and on the flip side, those same kids that are doing that, I will either appreciate it and let them grab their pair, or like not get mad, or after they walk out of the store. This is a strategy that me and my friends used to do all the time. We go to Woodfield Mall. It's a huge mall by my house, and we come from Chicago. And
Chi-town.
so
Thank you, Reed. That's
So-
necessary.
we go to Woodfield Mall, and every single person, let's say it was on, we did it, what did we do it with? The frozen yellows. Every single person that hit the frozen yellows, you could tell because you see the brown box through the Foot Locker bag or the Champs bag. And we would just go up to him, I'll give you $300. Like, and a lot of people, we walked away with, like, every time we would do that, we would have 10 pairs.
Wow, that's a great idea.
When NMDs
because
were
how many
hot-
people would sit there going like, well, it's $100 more than I paid.
Right. And you have to look at it as, I mean, and when we did it years ago too. I'm trying to think of the older, we did it with not Toro 4s. We used to do it way more before, like pre-StockX days. So being a reseller that's been doing it for a long time, pre-StockX days, like that was the golden era. Not Kanye with the MAGA hat.
Right.
No. The golden era was pre-StockX days, because it was literally, how good of a salesman are you? That's how much money you'll make. And
how cheap you
I
can
had
get 'em, right?
customers, and how cheap you could get them,
Yeah.
of course, and like who's got the plugs. But it was like, now I had people that were getting me shoes in New York and in LA. Like, I've had these like connections with boutiques and stuff, so I knew I was always going to be able to get pairs. But pre-StockX days, if I had this black toe one in LA, they might sell for $400. In New York, they might be going for $350. But if my customer is rich and my customer needs his pair, I can say $450 or $475. I'm not going to screw him and say $1,000, but I can say a little bit extra because I'm the only person you're getting it from,
Right.
and you don't even know the market. Now it's so predicated on what is StockX going for, what is GOAT going for. Everyone wants me to beat prices, which sometimes I could beat StockX by $20 or whatever, but now it's become like, I need to be able to get you them faster than StockX. I need to be able to get you them and make sure they're legit. So the game is just a lot different.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was talking to Reed about a few episodes ago, was that your purpose, for me anyway, is that, like, number one, I can actually talk to you. So when I needed to have a size swap between
Right.
a 10.5 and 11, I know you can sell a 10.5 easily.
Right.
You know, I know that you can get your hands on an 11, so you're somebody that will be there for me if I need that to happen, if I need to do a trade for an extra pair of Travis Scotts or whatever. Or if I'm just going to outright buy a shoe, I'm like, I trust you. You're going to send them to my house. If you tell me it'll take 2 weeks, it'll take 2 weeks. If
Right.
it takes a week, you know what I mean? Like, you'll just say, yeah, I can get them, or I have them right now, or whatever it is. And they're going to be legit. And you're just talking to a person. With StockX, it's like, you know, number one, like, you pay, and then there's like all these fees that go with it. So
Right.
you're paying more, and the seller's getting way less than they
Yeah.
actually think they're getting. And then there've been so many people who've gotten fakes from StockX.
And another thing that's when you gave
And
me
it
the
takes
plug,
so long, and I don't know, the whole thing.
the plug that you gave me was awesome. So thank you for that. The first episode I was watching, I was like, holy shit. But another thing that like the unspoken like negative part of StockX is let's say you're a reseller. For me, sometimes I do sell to StockX because it's like a lot of the times people in Chicago, they want to pay payouts because Chicago is just all resellers, you know, so everyone's going to play the same game that I'm playing. But if you sell to StockX, let's say what's a shoe that like fluctuated a lot? I don't know. Let's say the satin black toes came out and on release day, market drops to 500. So now everyone starts selling to StockX. So now the people selling them, when they see 3 days later that market goes up $100, now people that are selling them might just say, I don't want to sell them right now. Like, market's going up. So now the buyer has to wait 4 days or 5 days, and then you get an email saying seller did not ship.
Right.
So now you have to wait another week, and now I'm out. I was planning on, like, being the buyer, I was planning on buying these for $500. Now 2 weeks go by, I didn't get my pair at 500, and now 2 weeks later the market's at 650. And it's just like completely fucks the buyer.
Yeah.
And StockX's thing is like, oh, well, we're going to charge the seller a 10% fee, 10 to 20% fee. So if I change my mind about selling a pair and they're 500 and they go to 700, if I don't ship the shoes, I get penalty or whatever. There's a penalty of $50, and that goes to StockX. It should go to the buyer because the buyer should get that extra 10, 15%,
or at least split it.
I know. It's like, dude.
What you're describing exactly has happened to me. I've gotten almost all my... and I think I've gotten all my Yeezys from StockX. And it takes forever. But for me, I don't have a sneaker plug. So I was...
You got me now.
You do now, Reed.
Well, I appreciate that.
I got you, bro.
But for me, for StockX, for me, it really helped me get into the sneaker game.
Yeah.
And because I was really worried about pairs being legit or not. And so, I mean, I know StockX... I think the reason they've sold fakes is just because of the amount they put out. Right. I don't think they're actually bad at their job. So
yeah,
for me,
I would think that almost everything that comes out of StockX is real.
Yeah.
Is real.
I've
used StockX a lot, and I like them. I think they're still good. And you know, for buyers, it's great because you do know like how much the shoe should be going for. You know what I mean? But
no, it's still great, and even for resellers, because
I'll sell on, like, if I just want to get rid of something or come up with a couple bucks or whatever, like I'll throw something on StockX.
Yeah.
But it's also because of all the fees and everything involved.
Yeah, I would
to make it worth your while. You have to go like, okay, if it's $20 over retail, you're not getting $20. You know, it's got to be like $100 over retail for it to be worth your while.
Yeah, you always got to take, if you're going to sell them, at least like 10%. Some StockX accounts.
Here comes Lila.
Yep. There she is.
She's trying to get that hook up too.
What I was going to say is that most StockX accounts, like if you really are selling a lot, you could get down to paying like 7% or like, I think it's like 6% is the lowest. But yeah, I just don't like how it's unfair to the buyer sometimes in those certain situations where the guy gets screwed over. It's like, I don't like that. But the other part is, for resellers now, it's like the real resellers stayed in the game and the like phonies, they left. Because like I have connections that I can get 20 pairs of BC3s for retail, or I can get, you know, not Travis Scott's and stuff like that for retail, but I have my guys like a bulk order through, so I can do a pre-order, get 15 orders, and
but that's the other thing. Like when I go, like after 2 weeks, when I go, you know what, I really need another pair of these Travis Scotts because I really want to wear this pair. You got to double up. I know I can text you and be like, hey man, like I get it, but like I'm looking for another pair of Travis Scotts, and it's not so much, oh yeah, I'm gonna get them to you for $100. It's I can get them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And most people, the reason they're so expensive is because you can't get them.
Right.
And then we can start talking about trades or deals or whatever it is. But just the fact, I mean, the first step is that, oh, I can get them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, now we're there.
Plus, when it's a shoe like that, when it's like $1,200, like I'm dealing with like street market prices still. So if you're going to pay $1,200 on StockX, like I can beat those prices by a lot because like we don't have fees in Chicago. You know what I mean? So I could charge you $1,050 or $1,080.
So
because
how do
there's
you,
not that 10% or 15%.
Without revealing, like you're not going to reveal your sources.
Yeah.
But how do you know that you're not getting fakes from people?
So because my boutiques, like the boutiques that I go
So
through.
this is you go through boutiques.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's stores. A lot of them in Chicago. I don't think I can name it.
No, I wouldn't because they're not supposed to be doing that. But a lot of them like hold stuff back for people like you.
So we have we have a team of about 5 people, and it's growing now. We have like group chats and stuff in Chicago. But I have a team of people that I work with that they have access to all of these shoes, and it's kind of backdoor. It's. I mean, I don't think it's sketchy because we're not doing anything that other people can't do. We're doing things that we just did prior. You know what I mean?
The only reason that it's sketchy is because I'm sure that Nike wouldn't want it happening.
No.
You know what I mean? Like there
yeah.
are certain stores that in order to get this stock, they have to go through this protocol. And that's why we wouldn't name any stores here because they're probably breaking protocol.
Yeah. So, so I mean, basically, if this store,
which by the way, I'm glad they're breaking protocol because if they weren't breaking protocol, I couldn't text you and be like, hey, can you get a pair of these?
And I do have people that get me like. I do have people that I can text that work at shops in here and in LA, which I won't say them either. But I can text them and say, hey, I need 3 of these pairs, or hey, I need 4 of these pairs. But when it was like when I bulk ordered the black cement 3s, this store that we knew, because every store was getting them.
Yeah.
The store that we knew got 320 pairs.
And that's a boutique. That's not like a
no. It was just a boutique.
Do the boutiques benefit at all? That's what I was curious about.
Yeah.
Like, in what way do they benefit by giving you the pairs as opposed to just holding on to them?
Well, so how it works. Yeah, I could say this, right? No, I don't care. Honestly, how it works is that we all know the market because we have all sold shoes forever. You know what I mean? So we know that like when BC3s re-release, or if it's something that's not so exclusive, when it's not a big collab, we kind of know, like those Royal Retro 12s are coming out, the black and blue ones. We already know that the market's going to be like $275 to $320 on those. So for them, they're paying wholesale price, and then if I'm ordering 10, 15 pairs, I'll put a little bit of something on top of every pair. They're making money from me, but it's guaranteed orders. So I will sell out. If they say, Ange, we need 30 slots sold of these, whatever, me and all my guys will make sure they're sold, but we'll do it for the Travis Scotts, and we'll also do it for the stuff that doesn't sell. The other thing is they'll sometimes give us some of the merch that they have, or some of things that are not airwalks, but some of the less expensive Team Jordans and stuff like that. Will help them move those. So
is it like what I was saying when like there were stores that would like give me stuff early if I would pay full price, but they also needed me to buy a T-shirt?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You gotta do both. Yeah. And honestly, like as of now, I enjoy selling shoes and I enjoy like making like money from it, but it's become my goal is to get into more of the entertainment industry, and I'm really pushing my podcast and stuff like that. So I'm using sneakers to like be the common thing that me and you like, and then that gets us to do this show, or me and Kendra like, and then she's gonna do the podcast. So it's like I love sneakers because of what they changed my life in a big way. So when it's like make $50 or make 100 or whatever, I just don't. Like I'm not as into it, and the resale market is like it's being crushed right now. Like resellers have never sweat more on release days when it's a random Yeezy day,
right?
Or there's a restock. I remember I had the Zebras when they first came out. They were going for like $1,500. Nobody had them. There was like 9,000 or 12,000 pairs released in the beginning, and I moved all my pairs right away. I had like 7 pairs, and that was only my share of like me and 5 guys had like 40 pairs. But I had 7 pairs, and I moved them all for $1,100, and then like $900 towards the second week I was moving them. All my guys were like, "You're an idiot. You should have sat on those." And I was like, I'm good, you know.
Also guaranteed money.
Yeah, like I did fine, you know. I paid X amount. I made a couple hundred on each. The market was booming.
when do you know exactly what that?
Right. Well, what happened was all my guys. I knew people that had 30 pairs. I actually know a kid to this day that has 200 pairs of Zebras in his house. And
just hoping it comes back.
Well, yeah. So what happened then
and
was
it's not going to.
After I sold for $1,200, then one day we all wake up and there's just a re-release, and I texted him and I was like, "What now, fuckers?" Because like, they had all taken their $1,200 shoe that they wanted to go to $1,500 because of being greedy
That is
person.
crazy. I remember when they were 1,200.
Yeah, and then the next day after they re-released, they were literally at like $600, and then they dipped to like even a bit lower.
Well, I mean, I
so,
told you I got them for $250.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
I just wasn't. For any of the young resellers out there, if there's anybody watching this that you just started or you've been reselling, or you want to start reselling, it's not like it's dead, but I think that it's not a great idea to really sit on sneakers right now unless there's a collaboration like the Unions or the Travis Scotts or even the Nigels, which they haven't really came up a lot yet. But when it comes to like just random Yeezy releases or random Jordan releases, if you hit for retail on anything, obviously it's up to you if you want to wait on
Double
them.
up.
But or if you want to double up or get doubled upped.
You got
Yeah.
to put a little bit more bass into it. Double up.
Double up.
I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, if you the past tense would be double upped.
Double upped.
up.
Okay.
Double upped. I double
So,
upped.
I just wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend sitting on your shoes. I'm more of the like buy sell really fast and make 50 or 100 whatever it is and keep making that money and then putting it in other pairs. A quick story for you, which the past 2 weeks. So one thing that you didn't talk, I don't think you talked about yet, was StockX getting hacked. Did you talk about that?
I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
Because it happened
6.8
between
million
the shows.
users. Yeah.
I mean, I was
So-
sitting there going like, "Oh my god, this is terrible," and then I was like, "Well, but all I can really have is my shoe size, right?"
They have your address and your debit card if you've ever bought on
That's
there.
a bummer.
But I'm not.
Sucks.
Oh, shucks.
Darn.
So what happened is
they didn't have all that.
here's a theory. Okay, this is a theory that's going around in Chicago. That happened a few weeks ago, and then you saw like the LA to the past week especially the LA to Chicago's, the New York to Paris, the trophy rooms. There was some like older releases, even these satins. Everything just fucking skyrocketed. The Costin, original Costin, with the what's it called? Is it a Costin
Not
that
sure.
had the red Jumpman on the toe?
Oh, I know the
Or
shoe
was it
you're
a baseball
talking
player?
about.
It's an SB low. Anyways, after that hack happened, all these shoes like skyrocketed. I had 2 pairs of trophy rooms and I sold them for $1,200. And right now, if you look, a 10.5 and a 9, they're like $2,500. And it just happened
Is this-
like fast. And my theory is StockX got hacked. Everyone got scared. The younger resellers that didn't want to lose money, and some of the smart resellers were just like, fuck this, and sold all their stock. And now all these pairs that were listed on, especially for trophy rooms and LA to Chicago size 8s and size 9s, which I had both, literally went from $600 to $1,000 in 5 days.
What are the New York to Paris is going for?
The size 8 I think is at like 400 or something, which literally a week and a half ago.
I think I might have tripled on those.
We talked about that. You did.
Well, I did,
On
right?
a size
so. I
8
think
though,
so.
or a size 10.5?
Size 10.5.
Size 10.5 is not as high, obviously, but I
It's still
think,
higher,
I think-
right?
Yeah, no, they definitely should be higher. The
hope so.
LA to Chicago size 8, I had 2 size 8s, and I was sitting on them since the release date. And I could say what I paid. I paid like $400, so it was fair. And the size 8, they were going for like 600 at the time. I missed peak when they first released because they were going for like 900, and then they dropped back down. So I was like, I'll just wait till they go back up. I waited 2 months, like since release date almost, and I was just waiting. And I was seeing on StockX 650, 600, 580. They were just fluctuating. So I was like, okay, fuck this. So I just sold them to a buddy of mine. Sold them for 600 each. Fucking 3 days later, they were at 900. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna stick. And I was trying to.
But that
to
goes
sit
back. You
more.
know what? Like, you do, I guess, have to pick and choose. Like some shoes, you do have to sit on.
Yeah.
You just, I guess, have to know. Like, you paid $400. You sold them for whatever it was, $580. You know, after fees and everything, you made $100, $150 on them. On the Yeezys, though, you made more like $600 on them.
Yeah.
So if you're making that much, it's like
Right,
not
right.
that big of a deal.
Yeah. You can be more risky when you know you already have like a guaranteed $400 or $500.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, even then, I like have some pairs that I'll collect, that I'll keep, that like I'm never gonna wear, or like old bred ones I have. But when it comes to sitting on shoes, it's strictly for a collection, and for me. And I'm more of, if I'm reselling, I'm getting rid of them faster. I'm doing pre-orders or something. Which, by the way, I pre-ordered satin black toes, and I had like 8 orders. Not a lot of people ordered. I pre-ordered them for $375, and I pre-ordered a size 8.5 for $375. And
8.5 women.
yeah, and they're like,
Well, they only come in
they're like
women's, right?
$900.
Yeah,
they're all
yeah,
women's,
yeah.
but like it wasn't like a men's and a women's 7. And I pre-ordered a size 12. For my size 12s were a little bit more. They were 410, but those are at 750 right now. Like, so what people don't understand, which is what I explained on my podcast the other day, is I might not be able to like if it's the Travis Scotts right now, like the Travis Scott ones, they're already going for $1,600. So when someone hits me up and is like, "Yo, can you hook me up with these?" It's like I cannot manipulate a market that's already established, because then you would know if I was selling fakes. If the market's at $1,700,
if you could do
and I'm just like,
$600
yeah,
on
I
a
could
pair.
do $300.
Travis Scott's
Like,
600 for the Lolo.
you shouldn't want to buy from that person.
No.
So what I can do though is I can always offer pre-order prices. If there's a pair that's coming out in 2 weeks, like the
What's your UNC Obsidian pre-order price?
I pre-ordered those at $260. So and I think that's about fair. I don't think they're going to go for that much. I think that dark blue, navy
Eventually
blue-
they might though.
Yeah, eventually.
I think
oh,
over
of course.
time they'll be more in the 350 range.
Yeah, Jordan 1s right now have never looked better, with new colorways of Jordan 1s, pine greens, court purples, even Nigels. Like, there's so many.
Well, what's amazing is that they've figured out, like, so that black toe colorway, it used to be anything you put out in a black toe colorway.
In black, white, and red.
Yeah. Oh, no. I mean, like when you replace the red with any other color, like
Oh,
that's
right,
gonna
right.
move,
Yeah.
right? And then they put out the bread toes, and they were like, wait, this is the same colorway as the shatter backboards, where we
Right.
just color in the toe.
And then they started doing all of
Anything
that.
we put
Yeah.
on that colorway is gonna sell like crazy.
Right.
Like, I would imagine the yellow toes is gonna be big business for you.
Yeah, the yellow toes, I have a lot of orders on them, but
What's the pre-order on the yellow toes?
I think those are $280. I need to make sure.
What?
Yeah.
You're trying to get in on that, Reed?
No. I thought we discussed the yellow toes last show when we know what we did. But I thought they would resell for a lot. I thought those were gonna be really popular. At least Sam had told me. Sam knows Jordans better than
No,
I do.
they will, and I think they're going to go for way more than $280 eventually. But
Yeah.
the same way he's saying, like, the pre-order.
Oh, you're talking
on
about immediate market.
like if he said you could buy them from Angelo, pre-order them for $280.
Yeah.
Depending
The
on the
same
size,
way
it varies.
You
but-
could get like for $375 or whatever. You could have ordered a pair of satin pair of satin black toes
right.
for $375. Now they're $600 now, whatever, $800 now, whatever
It's
they are. but-
literally people that are, and it's not. It doesn't mean that every single shoe I sell it goes for great amounts. I pre-ordered the Nigels, I think, for $360 or something like that, and they ended up going for around $360. There's I pre-ordered. I did the reverse shatter backboards for like $350, and now they're at, so it's, you can't really know. It's like, that's why the pre-orders are so special, because sometimes you'll pre-order and you'll pay $50 extra, and that I win. But then sometimes, like on the women's satin backboards or the women's satin black toes and the Sean Witherspoons, which I pre-ordered for $400, like, you guys win.
Yeah.
But people don't want to do it. This is why reselling is so messed up now, is because people don't want to do it if they don't win, and people don't want to take the chance.
Right, and
People want the
you also
guaranteed profit.
like for me, I'm going like, no, I'm gonna really try to get them for retail.
Yeah.
And then the day comes, and then you don't get them for retail, and then you're like, hey, Angelo, about that pre-sale
It happens
price, and
so-
you're like,
it's-
it's not a pre-sale anymore. It's
Yeah.
over.
It
It's
happens
done.
with a lot of
It's a
people.
post sale.
It's a post-sale. It's now resale.
And I post, and it happens even with like some of my higher profile customers, so I can't snap or get mad, but like, it's just like, pre-order time is like usually 2 weeks before release. If you message me and say, hey Ange, I need this pair, I'll go and tell my guys, like, I don't have a problem doing that. But people hit me up on release day, yo, can you still get those Travis Scotts for $800? No, they're $1,200. Like, and then they think that I'm like the dick because, like, oh well, you told me that. But yeah, it's like, I told you that April 3rd. It's April 28th.
Yeah. Jordan 1s were a little bit less expensive when they first released. But,
I know.
Yeah.
Like, so that part is unfortunate for me. But then I have customers like you that are great. You understand my business. You
just kind of
understand.
get it. It's like, you know, like I remember like when the gold toes first came out, they didn't hit what I paid for them from you for a while, and I was like, that sucks, like that. And then you just kind of waited out, and then some of the other shoes I got, it was like I got an amazing deal on them, And now if you look at what the gold toes go for, it's way more than I paid for.
Yeah, and it's just, and the other thing is the amount of people that bitch at me when they buy a pair of Statics for $50 over market. They'll be like, dude, I got, like, you ripped me off, you charged me overpriced, I found them online for $50 less. I'll literally just text them and be like, wait a month, and then we'll talk. Then they wait a month, they're like, dude, thanks, man. It's like, yeah, no shit. So
Yeah.
Well, speaking of getting people's shoes, what's the most unusual pair of shoes you've had requested? Like, not necessarily weird or whatever, but just like, oh, I didn't expect you wanting that pair, for instance, or they're a hard pair to get, stuff like that.
You'd be surprised. I mean, it was kind of like what I was talking about earlier, like those just like super cheap, like people DM me for Vans, people DM me for Prestos or Rose Sheets. But there's definitely times where, and this is just people that have a lot of money. My high profile customers, the celebrity customers.
Talking about Sal from Impractical Jokers?
He is one of them, but he's a smart buyer. He is a smart.
No, he knows shoes. I love looking at his
shit
Instagram.
on shoes.
Yeah.
And we do trades. We talk about value and
Well,
stuff
that's what I was
like
going to
that.
ask before you get to Reed's question, and we'll give. Is there anybody that has bought more volume than Sal? And the only and I'm not even telling tales out of school, because if you go on Sal's Instagram, he'll just like in one day
He'll do like eight shoes.
Right, 15 pairs of shoes, or
Yeah.
there'll be a picture of you two, and you've got like 9 shopping bags,
Yeah.
and it just stacks of
So,
boxes of sneakers.
A funny story about I'll answer yours after, but about Sal Volcano. So yeah, he ended up picking up I think 11 pairs. And this was on the first day that we ever met. And
That's
he
awesome.
had already purchased like 2 before then. He picked up like 11 pairs. And I was like, yep, like I'll fly out to New York. I'll bring them to you because I'm not going to ship them. Because by the time I even pay shipping, I could just buy a fucking plane
So
ticket.
how many bags did you check?
So, well, that's what I didn't think about at the time. I was like, oh my God, I'm selling a Sal Volcano. This is unreal. Like,
Right.
Thank you so much. And then I'm like, and I usually pack like the night before. You know what I mean? I've traveled so many times that like I pack. I know what to do. So now it's the day before, and I'm looking at these 11 pairs of shoes, and my one little Oakley bag, and I'm like, fuck, like I don't know what to do. So then
Because you could have shipped them to New York and then still gone to New York.
But what if it doesn't, like,
That's
if
true.
I shipped that was like a $3,000 or $4,000 order, or maybe even a little bit more. And what if the one package of all of these shoes,
That's
one
true,
guy
dude.
could just
I was
hit
so
the
paranoid
biggest,
about when I sent you that box of 4 pairs to
yeah,
trade
you're
for
like,
the Travis.
your heart's in your stomach.
I was
for
like,
those
yeah,
3
I
days.
got extra insurance on it. I was like,
it's not
give
like
me the-
airports are really reliable with your stuff, though. I know whenever I travel, and I like to travel with a few of my favorite sneakers, I'll always bring them on with me.
Well, yeah. So what ended
What
up
about when
happening?
it's 11 pairs
Well,
in boxes?
well,
The
yeah,
end
that's
of
what I'm
this-
saying. Now 11 pairs, that's crazy.
Yeah,
you had
so
to have put them in a suitcase.
What I ended up doing was I put 2 in one of my bags, and I just put like my underwear and my socks around them and on top, and like my shirts, I laid them on top.
Now, are you also
So
having to make sure that the boxes don't get all smashed up, right?
That's why, like, I was barricading them with my clothes and stuff so they didn't get dented. And then I literally had 8 pairs that were in shopping bags that I was like, guys, these are my carry-ons, okay? Consider this one a backpack. Consider this one a shopping bag, because you can't have a shopping bag and a backpack. And they were like, no. And then I tipped the sky cap. I would give him like $30. I was like, just please let this one slide. And he was like, all right. So then I was just like sitting.
So
on
you
the
were
plane, like,
on the-
holding these 9 shoes.
You
And
brought
'cause
all of them on.
I brought, yeah, I only had 2 that were in my checked on bag, and I was just like,
Wow.
sitting
Only
there.
takes $30. Who would have known?
Yeah, you could buy your sky caps. Shout out to all you sky caps out
Yeah.
there. They save lives when it comes to overseas bringing shoes over, or not overseas, but
Yeah.
over lakes bringing shoes in the same country.
Cross country. Cross
Yeah.
country.
So, but what to answer your question, Reed, there's like, most of the time I like to leave it up to the person buying. So especially when it's a high profile person, I know that they don't care. Like if you're Chris D'Elia and you're just rolling in the Brinks truck and you got $3 million every 2 days that you have to spend, Chris D'Elia is loaded. And I know a guy like that, he's not hitting me up to save $20. You know,
Right.
he's hitting me up for the same reason that you are, that it's convenient. I can text him. I don't have to be worried about my card. I
Great
can just
customer
chase quick
service.
pay.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we go out to eat. We hang out a little bit when I visit LA when he has time, which he doesn't anymore.
And you're not going to screw
but-
around.
Right. And where am I going with this? Oh, and when it's so they don't care about saving $20 or $50. They just want to know that they have the shoes. So when someone messages me that's like a UFC fighter or a whatever football player and they just want some dope shoes, I'll literally just send them like a collage. Is that what it's called? A collage?
No.
A picture collage?
Oh, it is a collage.
Yeah, Pic Collage. I use Pic Collage. That's the app.
Yeah.
And I'll just send them like whatever the top 20 cool retro ones that just came out are, and I'll just leave them up to them. I do add a discount for the exposure. So if you want to do a deal with me, I'll give you some discount, and then you like post about it on Instagram or shout me out. I'm really in it for the exposure.
Dude, it drives me crazy. Like, because I also collect figures, right? And there are some people who get it, and like figures are not like. I mean, some of them are as expensive as shoes, but it's a weird thing. But like, there are people who will literally like just send me whatever, and it's like just when I need some promo on Instagram, hit me up, blah blah blah, like whatever it is, right? But then there are these sellers that like they don't give any discount, which is like okay, like if you're not gonna give a discount, you're not gonna give a discount, and then they're like, and a shout out, can you just hook me up with a shout out? And I'm like. There's a value to that, dude.
Nope.
Like people pay for advertising.
Yeah,
like there is a
of course.
value to promotion, and so no, of course
Those
not.
guys aren't. Those guys, I don't think are going to be around for a long time. Like what Angelo was saying is that with StockX almost weeds out the not pretenders, but maybe you're not as serious about it.
Yeah, and the so the answer to your question was that sometimes I'll send people a collage that has Travis Scott's in it, and there'll be Jim Red ones, and I'm just leaving it up to them. It's my way of playing the game because I know like I'm giving you what you want. It's not about money. And sometimes I'll send them like a $580 pair and a $160, and they just pick the $160 one. And that's when you
Those
really
are called
can tell.
good days.
Yeah. And then sometimes you think they're gonna pick the cheaper one, and then they pick the most expensive. Then you're like, fuck.
Oh man.
But it's just that's how it is. And for all the people that don't like the exposure or that like they want the shout out and they want the money, those people will continue to lose like 100%. I'm strictly betting on the next 5-10 years of my life, hoping that these like when I bring out a pair. I just brought what did I bring? I brought Maida Gandhi. She works on the Elvis Duran show.
Mm-hmm.
I brought her a pair of Yeezys for her boyfriend that she bought. We did a discount shout out deal, and I like. Even if there's a discount, even if let's say I pay retail and it's $220 or $250, and then I charge her the same thing, and market's $500, I'm missing out on $220 that I could have gotten. But I have to book a hotel, I have to book a flight, I have to go out to eat when I'm out here. Like it's a strongly negative. Like it's not really positive a lot in my wallet. But when I'm trading it, I'm literally trading that money for exposure, fans, people go listen to my podcast, and like all of that. And
I mean, and I could tell you how much people pay to advertise on SiriusXM, how much people pay to advertise on like my podcast, my wrestling podcast, whatever it is, how much people would pay to advertise on my YouTube shows and stuff like that. And it's like it's got a value. It's worth doing.
Right. No, 100%.
That's a smart way to go about it too, because so many people nowadays. I mean, that's the old trope, the cliche trope that everyone wants to be famous, but no one really wants to do anything.
Right.
I respect that, because I think that's the best way to go about it is to provide people with something, and in turn you'll eventually be raised and you'll kind of get what you want. But you got to give people something first.
Right. And it's just like just a way of like I know that I want to get people like I know I want to grow my audience with fans and stuff like that. I enjoy selling shoes. I just really was able to like that was how I did it, and I don't think you could do it any other way. You have to lose money a lot of the time to gain. Like I could have sat at home and shipped out this whole time and had an extra $45,000 in my pocket, which is great, but all I have is myself and $45,000. I don't have a community of hundreds of people that love to and growing. But it's like I built such a strong little base here of my smaller amount of followers and stuff that it's just I would rather have 10,000 followers that love what I do and be able to do shit like this than like sit in my room and count my $30,000.
So before we promote the podcast, because I was looking over there, do you have because I thought, were you going to bring me a pair of Unions for this appearance?
Oh, you know what? I have them.
Okay.
No, I do have them.
Can I get in on that? Then?
Yeah, Reed's the
I
co-host.
have some for you too.
So, yeah,
Reed, you're going to read Unions too?
You know what happened?
Okay.
Here's what happened, and this really sucks.
Yeah.
I had the unions for Reed,
Yeah.
and I had unions for you,
Oh.
and I
Yeah?
got robbed.
No.
Yeah, I got. You know what?
That's
This
New
guy,
York
I had
for
them
ya.
both. I actually had. I'm not trying to like get you guys your hopes up.
Yeah.
I had Travis Scott's in there too for each 20
Oh
years.
my God! I was gonna triple up.
And
That would
I
have been
was,
great.
I was running.
Trying to single up.
I was running with the bags in my hand, and I was like, "Oh my God, Sam Roberts!" And some guy pushed me over and then grabbed the shoes.
That's how it's always done too.
It's probably- yeah,
He
don't you
pushed
can't
me
say my
over,
name in
like,
public.
He was really heavy.
Yeah.
and he
Say
just-
my name.
He did one of
That's what happened. Yeah.
I got mauled. I was like Sam Roberts, and this guy just
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens every time.
I got
It's not good.
checked, man. It really.
that's a
so
bummer.
I did have you pairs for you guys, and I got.
Well, you could just grab more. I
Next
guess. when
time,
you-
next
yeah,
time.
next time when you get back,
Yeah,
you
no.
could send them.
Yeah.
You could send them.
Yeah, no, I could send.
Actually,
Yeah, okay.
you know what you
Yeah,
should do?
okay.
Just send us that collage thing you were talking about, and then
Just
we'll do it.
We'll
Yeah.
pick. Yeah, we'll go.
pick.
You know what happened though?
When it was a collage.
The app that my
no.
phone broke. Yeah.
Ah, that's a bummer.
No way to share
My f-
pictures now.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, no, my phone.
Crashed.
Yeah, my phone. Yeah, my phone's
Alright.
broken.
Crashed.
Yeah,
That's a real
but
bummer.
no, I do have Airwalks.
Airwalks are cool.
I got a plug on
Do
Airwalks.
people like them?
You guys want for some free bears?
Well,
Well,
listen,
I mean,
I thank you for having me on the show. It's a pair of Airwalks.
yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
You can hear Angelo every week on Kicks and Giggles podcast. You also do a YouTube version of the show.
Yeah,
So if you
video
like to
and
watch stuff
thank you.
better, Kicks and Giggles is where you go. Just search it out, and you can find Angelo's take on whatever it is that he's got to take on this week, as well as a little sprinkle of shoe talk in there. And if you need a shoe plug, he gives them away for free, like whoever wants sneakers. At Angelo Blando, right?
They could be Red Octobers. It could be a $5,000 pair, and you could.
For you.
Yeah, thank you for.
No,
the
but
plug.
if people, Angelo Blando is the Instagram, right?
At Angelo_Blando on Instagram. My YouTube, just type in Angelo Blando and you'll find it. I do the podcast, I got to let them know. The podcast, the structure of it now, it's more of like a lifestyle comedy podcast. I talk a lot about like the behind the scenes of meeting these celebrities. I talk about some of the stress that goes through being on the plane, getting there late, being blown off by certain people, and I give all of
Who
that.
blew you off? Did you say?
Yeah, there was a rapper named Young Pinch, and he blew me off. And,
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I literally flew to LA, and he was like, "Yep, I'm on my way, dude. Okay." And then I was like, "Hey, I'm here," and
number
he's like,
blocked.
"I can't come, my bad." And I was like, and they were like, and I was like, "Okay, well, thanks,
That's that
thanks,
then.
man. I
Yeah.
love your music."
Cool.
So, yeah, and the podcast is structured so they're usually an hour long. The first 40 minutes of the show will be all about comedy, talking about my day, lifestyle, and then the last like 10 to 20 minutes are always like sneaker updates and stuff like that. So
Well, cool. Thanks for being here, and thank you all for watching.
you, brother.
NotShoes. Hopefully, we'll get into that conversation about the Chicago's returning next show, and I'll have a pair of those UNCs to show off in the pickup section of the show.
Yep.
We will see you next time.
Thank
Don't
you
forget every Friday, Sam Roberts Now. Every Thursday, Not Sam Wrestling. Every Wednesday, The Tomorrow Show. Jim Norton and Sam Roberts on Sirius XM. There's plenty to watch. See you guys later.